Hey guys, in this video I have the wireless version of the popular Pandora's Box arcade. If you've seen my other videos, you'll see that I'm a huge fan of these arcade systems. They are loaded with hundreds of arcade games and are basically just plug and play. The Pandora boxes come in either a JAMA cart for your existing arcade machine or an arcade SuperGun in a closure with the controls built in. It also comes in a wireless version like the one I'm going to unbox in this video. So I got this direct from China and it came in about 2 weeks, which is pretty fast. So as I'm unboxing it, you can see that it actually comes in two separate boxes. And that's because there are two arcade sticks and one box will contain the actual console unit itself, while one will just include another joystick. So here it is. It comes really nicely packaged, and this is the actual Pandora's Box console system. It's what holds all the games and connects up to your television. So on the front, that's where you'll find the power button, and the words actually light up when you turn it on. And on the back, you have all the various inputs and outputs, and we're going to take a closer look at it later on. But in this box here, you will find the various cables for hooking it up to your television. So there's the VGA cable. There is also an HDMI cable as well, and two USB male-to-male cables for hooking it up to another console, as well as an audio cable. And this is a spare button, as well as some suction cups if you want to add them to the bottom of your controllers. And in this smaller box here, you have the power adapter, which is 12 volts, 3 amps, and this plugs to the back of your Pandora's box, giving it power. Then you have this colorful manual that you'll probably never read, but if you've never used that Pandora's box before, it's probably a good idea to read that. And this is the arcade sticks, at least one of them. I ordered one that was black and then one that was blue, and I'd have to say it's actually pretty nice. It's nice and big, so there's a lot of room for you to rest your palms on, and the buttons feel okay, but I would highly recommend you upgrade them to SANWA. And this particular version that I got is powered by 3 AA batteries on the back here. There are some models that are powered by a single cell lithium polymer battery. And finally, the last box should contain the other controller. Here you'll find a replacement button for that controller, as well as the cable for your power adapter. And this is the blue one that I got. It's a clear blue case, and I actually like this one quite a bit. I was hoping to get a blue joystick as well as a green one, but unfortunately they ran out of the green one, so I had to stick with the black one. But this one is, again, the same thing. On the back, you have the battery compartment to hold the 3 AA batteries. You can buy them with one arcade stick or with 2. They even sell the arcade stick separately with a Wi-Fi dongle so that you can use it with your PC or Raspberry Pi. So first off, let's take a look at the wireless arcade sticks. They are nice and big with lots of room to rest your palms. They come in a few different styles, but I wanted 2 that were different so I know which one was player 1 or player 2. I'd say the build quality is decent, but for the price I was expecting a little bit more. The buttons are adequate, however, you can swap them out with SANWA ones if you like. So one thing I don't like with this arcade stick is how the buttons are mapped. So this is actually light punch here, and this is medium punch, high punch, and this is light kick. And this one is a medium kick, and that's high kick. And it's kind of weird playing Street Fighter like this, but if you're playing like shooting games, it really doesn't matter. Luckily, it's actually a very easy fix. All you have to do is open it up and then rewire everything. So whichever arcade stick you turn on first will become player 1, and then the second one you turn on will become player 2. On the top row, you'll find the coin button, the pause button, and these other buttons up here are when you use it with a PS3 or an Xbox 360. You can plug the Pandora's Box console itself to one of these consoles, and then you can use the wireless joysticks to control it. So this box here is essentially the consoleized version of the Pandora's Box. It is a small unit that houses the arcade board that plugs into your TV via HDMI or VGA. All the 815 games live in here. It's basically like any video game console, like a PlayStation or Xbox, but the games are built in. The arcade sticks then communicate wirelessly to the console. I'm not really a competitive gamer, so I don't really notice any lag. I'd say you'll probably notice more lag input from your TV than the included wireless arcade sticks. Here I'm hooking it up to my LCD TV, and it works really well in that I can sit back and relax without having to worry about tripping over any wires. And here I have it hooked up in my bedroom to my projector, and it's a lot easier to play with this because I don't have to deal with all the wires that are hanging from the projector, which is up on the wall. So here's a close-up of the back of the Pandora's Box console unit. So on the very far left, you have the DC 12 volt, HDMI output, VGA output, headphone jack, volume control, as well as a configuration button, and the two USB ports which are used for plugging this up to other consoles like the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So I'll show you how to use this Pandora's Box console with, say, a Raspberry Pi. So using the two included USB-A male-to-male connectors, what you want to do is hook them up to the back of the Pandora's Box and then plugging it into the Raspberry Pi. So you'll want to use both of the USB cables that are included, one for each of the arcade sticks. And once you have all the USB cables hooked up, you can turn on the Pandora's Box, and both the controllers should work with your Raspberry Pi. This should also work with your computer, PS3, Xbox 360, and even Android devices as well. Make sure you turn on the arcade sticks by pushing the power button, and whichever one powers up first will be player 1. You may need to use a USB keyboard in order to set up the controllers on your Raspberry Pi. So go to Configure Controller and hit OK, and you should see that it's detected two gamepads, and hold down a button for one of them. It should show up as 3H3A arcade controller, then move up, down, left, right, and we can skip the joystick buttons because we don't have any on the arcade controller. So just hold down a button to skip them, and then we want to do A, B, X, Y, start. And then we're going to do select. I'm going to use the coin button to select, and page up, page down, L2, R2, and we don't have L3 or R3, so we're going to skip those. And the hotkey, I'm going to use the same coin button, and that's it for setting up the controls for player 1. And for player 2, you want to do the exact same thing I just did for player 1. Here's a really quick demo of me using the arcade sticks with the Raspberry Pi. This unit is based on the 4S Plus, which has 815 games built in. Whether you have the 3, 4, 4S, 4S Plus, or 4X, we're basically splitting hairs here because there are a ton of games, from fighters to shoot 'em ups to beat 'em ups. Way too many to list. I'll leave a link to the games list in the description if you want to see what games are included. To show you what's inside, I'm going to remove all the screws and then also remove the ball top from the arcade stick. So there's a little cover on the bottom that allows you to put a slot screwdriver in there, and it holds the shaft in place while you unscrew the ball top, and then you can essentially take the top cover off, and that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of stuff inside the arcade stick. It's pretty hollow, and just a couple of circuit boards and wires that go to the joystick and the buttons. And right off the bat, you can see that the joystick can easily be replaced by a SANWA JLF because the mounting hole seems to be the same, and it uses a 5-pin connector as well. So that should be a very easy swap. And on the other side where the buttons are, you'll see that, again, they're very neat and tidy. And these buttons here are also your standard 30mm buttons, so replacing them with SANWA ones shouldn't be that difficult. If you're not too happy with the button layout, you can also rewire them so that it's easier to play games like Street Fighter. So here's a closer look at the actual joystick itself. So it looks like it's a clone of a SANWA JLF, so putting one in should be relatively easy. It's pretty much just plug and play from the looks of things. The wireless Pandora's Box arcade systems are great for those who want a clutter-free way of playing your favorite arcade games. And in general, the Pandora boxes are a great way to have access to almost every arcade game without the hassle of setting up a Raspberry Pi and hunting for ROMs. It's just basically plug and play. Since getting mine, I find that I play this way more than any of my other SuperGuns. So should you get one of these versus the other Pandora boxes, the wireless is more geared at having it plugged into your entertainment center at all times and sitting back on the couch to play. I still find the arcade SuperGun style of Pandora boxes more portable and easier to transport to, say, a friend's house. It's a much better option for that purpose, and frankly, the SuperGuns look awesome. So it depends how you want to play, but both form factors, whether wired or wireless, are great for anyone who's interested in arcade games, whether you're an enthusiast or just a casual player. If you want to know more about the other Pandora Box arcade SuperGuns, check out my other reviews. Anyways, That's it for this review. Check out the description for links to everything I mentioned in this video. I'll end this video with some game demos, and as always, comment, like, share, or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.